Hello, everybody. This is Gregory Santiago, the host of Your Medicare and You, by choice, the senior podcast. And today we are part two. I'm with a friend of mine, a professional in the industry, is Darren Whittick. And we already recorded one podcast, one topic, maximum out of pocket. But you know what? The conversation was so good, so smooth. We decided to record another one on your behalf so that way you can get more information.
Cool.
Say-
Good morning, everybody, or good afternoon, whenever you're seeing this.
Yes.
I'm Darren Whittick. Nice to meet you.
and we had a great conversation talking with maximum out of pocket. But in this podcast, we're going to talk about copays and let me see how I said the difference between a deductible and a copay.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, I'll take the challenge. I can say it. I can do it. So I took it, and here he is. Darren,
Hey.
do you think they need to understand that?
Yeah, I think it's important because what everybody wants to know is that if you're going to have one of these Medicare plans, how much is it going to be costing me as I'm using the services? I think it's kind of funny that, when you are in an HMO, typically in Texas, most of the HMOs are zero. HMOs in Southern California are zero, but believe it or not, in the San Francisco Bay Area, they could be as much as $100 for an HMO. So depends on the part of the country that you're in. But, that being said, if you have a zero, dollar, it's doesn't cost you anything for being in your pocket. You have to look at your Medicare Advantage, HMO, or PPO. Is kind of like owning a motorcycle. You don't go to the doctor every day. You don't ride your motorcycle every day. So you kind of pay as you go.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's kind of a good analogy, if you will.
Yes, people get confused with the copays and the deductibles.
Mm-hmm.
And like we were talking in the previous podcast, even some people don't use the services because they're not clear of what is their responsibility. Because with Medicare, you have some benefits, but also you have responsibilities. And your copays and your deductibles is your responsibility.
That's correct.
And as part of an agent, what should they bring to every presentation?
Oh,
a good agent, what should they bring?
They should always bring, Gregory, this book, okay? The Medicare and You Handbook. It's the official government handbook from CMS, Centers for Medicare and Medicaid.
And they should get that in their home.
Yes, they can order one, have a client order one for them,
Yes.
okay? So, I mean, it's important to have because you're going to reference this book in relation to your insurance products as well.
Yes.
The literature from the insurance company. Absolutely.
And every plan has deductibles and copay. Like Darren was saying in the previous podcast, Part D is a different topic.
Mm-hmm.
Part D also has their deductibles and copays, but we're talking Part A or Part C. We're talking the Medicare Advantage, the copays and the deductible.
Sure.
Every book has.
Yes. So when you get a plan, a Part C plan, well, a lot of people call it Medicare Advantage MA. When it's Medicare Advantage with drug, it's MAPD.
Mm-hmm.
So MAPD, again, that's those acronyms. We talk about acronyms all the time in our industry. The thing is you got to go straight to that summary of benefits. There's sometimes at the beginning, it's something called benefits at a glance. Please do not show that to your consumer. They can keep that, but they need to go to the summary of benefits and see, what is the deductible, if there is one? What is maximum out of pocket? What about in or out of network? Covered, not covered, only emergency. That's when it all kind of comes together. And you got to tailor make it to that consumer. Is this consumer, I don't want to get referrals. I want to be able to just go see the doctors in the network or what have you. So that's important.
Yes.
So, okay.
One thing, if your budget, some people don't, there is a new style of marketing plans that they're giving give backs. They are helping with to offset what you pay monthly for your Medicare, Part B. But what happens when you give back?
Well, most of the time you lose the Part D. Okay. So Yeah, if anybody's seen the Joe Namath, that one will fit very few people because the give back typically would be somebody who has full Medicare and Medicaid, and they're
Yes.
very low, and then they get what's called SLMB, specified low income beneficiary, and then they get they have very low or no copays for everything. There are very few plans that have give back with Part D,
Yes.
but those plans have really high copays and coinsurance. That's the thing. So if you could look at the crystal ball and say, well, this year I'm not going to go to the doctor or the hospital at all. Hey, fine.
Perfect.
But most of us do not.
That's why I'm bringing
Correct.
it, because people, I understand everybody's trying to check their finances.
Sure.
And but if it might be detrimental to your finances if you get sick and you have higher copay every time you go to a lab or a doctor office or whatever, because the copays are going to be higher when they give you when you receive a give back from the insurance company.
Right. And if you get caught up in a give back and you've dropped that Part D, now what's happening? Oh, I'm using my Good RX card during the year. And then next year when you're going to get the Part D back, what happens? Oh, you have a penalty. And then you go, well, what's that all about? Well, that's something that's called permanent because that's the way it is. It's the national average, 1% of the national average, right around 33 cents a month.
Yeah.
I actually have a customer south of here in Rosenberg. He didn't have that Part D for 12 years. So he's got a $53 or $55 monthly penalty forever, every month.
Every month.
So you'll find those, agents out there. You'll find a customer that, got into Medicare 07, 08, and you go, what do you do for your drugs? And they go, I don't have any. Now, those people you might want to put on the Medicare only because they don't want to pay the penalty and they keep using quote unquote the Good RX or a discount card.
Yes.
But that's not commonplace, if you will.
It's but it happens. When I was in the field, I got to a few homes that happened. They think they're getting because they don't understand. They believe they're getting away, saving money, but at the end, everybody's going to need it at one point,
right?
And then it's going to get you. It's going to get you there.
Absolutely.
And copays, most MA or MAPD plans, at least in the Texas or Houston area, don't have deductibles.
That is correct. So they start, Gregory, with no deductible, and then you have these things called copays. So you just go on the list. You say, well, what's the primary copay? What is the specialty? What about ER or urgent care or what have you? And that is going to be that fixed dollar that you are going to be responsible for when you receive that service. Okay.
So the deductible is you have to pay this amount first before we do the service,
right? And
the copay is you're sharing the cost of the service that you receive,
right? And that's actually good because let's go back copay and coinsurance. It really plays a part when you go out of network in the PPOs because you have fixed dollar deductible on some plans, and then you have percentage deductible on some plans if you go out of network in the PPO. Now, HMO, can you go out of network? Of course you can if it's for emergency or if it's for ER because, you just sprained your ankle or you got hit with a baseball at a baseball game. But what you can't do in an HMO because you're traveling out of state is simply going to the podiatrist because you want to. Okay. Now, there are some plans that have that travel protection.
Yes.
So you have to know the plans. You have to know your plans. So.
Yes. And that's where the agent comes to play. He needs to have all. When you call this Humana, United, WellCare, even this 1-800, you calling, they're going to talk to you only about their plans. And you might receive the best possible plan that they have available. But that doesn't mean there is the best plan in the market for you. That's why it's important for you to check your broker, your agent broker, so he can look. In the Houston metro area, there's 50 something plans, 12 or 13 carriers. Most of them have at least 10 companies that they represent, and and they can go and look and really do the best for you.
Yep.
And I'm going to tell you from my heart, my parents, my dad was born in 1925, my
Oh, wow.
mom in 27.
Mm.
So when they earned good position, they study and all that, their income was very low. So their social security was very low.
Mhm.
And they didn't qualify for help because it was just a little bit over
Okay.
So the copays, the deductibles,
And the plan selection,
and
like you said.
it was very, very important for us
Yeah.
because when they really fix income,
Yeah.
it makes a big.
And you said something important, Gregory. You're using a broker. If you call the 800 number for the carrier, yeah, they're offering you their best plans that are going to fit your needs. Talking to a broker, us brokers, we're not charging a fee to see us or talk to us, and we get compensated from those individual carriers. And it's not like you're trying to push them into this one to this one. It's more about putting the puzzle together.
Yes.
Okay, you take these medicines, you fill them at this pharmacy, you see these physicians, and then you try to figure out choice 1, 2, and 3 for those folks and say, hey, you know what? I think this one's probably going to work best for you, but this one's not bad too. Which one do you think fits you the best? I mean, really, it's up to you. I don't want to, we don't need to steer anybody. We just need to be professional educators, if you will.
Yes, exactly.
Yep.
So it's very important when you receive or talk with somebody on the phone, if they're leading you just to one plan, there's other agents out there. You don't have to say no. Just say, let me call you back. Let me and go to the directory. Go down there and look for another agent close by to you, or somebody that you see the videos and you see and you feel comfortable and make a phone call. Because it's like Darren was saying, they should give you the information and then you make an intelligent decision on what is best for you. And when you call these port people or carriers, and I mention names because they're taking care of their business. They're doing what they have to do. And I was one for a season. But we talk only about my plans. And it makes a difference because it's about your health. It's about your finances, And we want you, from our heart, we want the best for you.
Right.
I am an expert in PNC, property and casualty, commercial. And I have people call me to go back to sell them something because I took care of them. I don't want to go back to that. Yeah. I like this. I like helping people, meeting them. I'm not an agent anymore, but I like to see and find these professionals that they're there to help the seniors.
That's right. And you build great relationships with them. And they need to know that you're available, 24/7. I mean, at least we try to be. All of us have our cell phones these days. They should all have that phone number in their phone.
Yes.
Maybe have Medicare first and then your first and last name. Mm-hmm. And then they go, oh God, I got to get a hold of Julie or Gloria or Darren, like me.
Yes, but that's correct. And you should be able to talk. If you're not receiving this type of service, go in the directory, look for another agent and listen. I'm not saying just listen. There is plenty. My wife, with this COVID, everything has been referral.
Yeah, sure.
Because the other agents are not answering the phone. They're not. And my agent always do, give me the phone number.
Yeah.
That's
the reason you build good relationships, because you're at the top of their mind. If you can find that common ground with them, get to know their kids' names, their animals' names, and everything else. And then you just like, wow, this person really knows. Or like we talked about, talk about chicken and dumplings or whatever.
Yes, that's right.
So, you're at their, in the forefront, and the subject comes up with friends, family, people from church, and they say, gosh, I'm turning 65 and I don't know. Oh, call my agent. He or she will take care of you. Yes. And that's really a compliment. That's the best compliment you could receive, is to get a referral. One thing about that is that we have a gentleman up in Conroe Woodlands. He's been an agent for 50 years. His name's Terry Burgess. And he taught me this years ago. And he said, don't keep my name a secret. And I thought that was a pretty good one.
That's good. Yeah. Yes. I never heard it that way. That's it. And it's important. It's important to have the right agent, the right plan. when I mean plan network, doctors, specialties, also copays, because not everybody can afford. There's some high deductibles and copays and all
Mhm.
that. So have your confidence in one person. Look them up, check and see which one worked for you. Talk to with two or three on the phone, and the ones that you feel more connected that they care for you, then get into the conversation and let them choose. Uh, show you all the plans available. Wherever you are, California, Florida, Nevada, it's the same story. You
Yeah.
know, there's good agents out there. Look for it. I like to call them advisors because what they do is they give you advice, and like you said,
Sure.
and then you choose the plan that is best for you.
Yeah. I'd like to say one other thing, Gregory, is that the plan that you choose today might not be the same or best plan that you need 2 or 3 years from now. So if prescriptions change, your doctor retires, and that doctor really was important to you, but these other doctors, you should reevaluate this possibly annually, but at least every couple of years,
Yes.
especially if your needs change. So correct.
That's very correct. And some companies eliminate plans or make
Mhm.
big changes in the plan, and you're happy this year, and then in January, what happened? I was paying $20, now I'm paying 40. What? And that's
Right.
when you need to have your agent talk to you and review
Sure.
your plans and all that.
Yeah.
So, hey, thank you, Darren. I think we had a good time.
Yes, sir.
You gave some great information. We're not trying to make you an insurance agent. We're trying to speak in a normal language so you can understand, at least get you a little bit of knowledge so you can make happy decisions, good decisions
That sounds good.
for your
Now,
health.
do you want? We're going to do the next one in Spanish, right?
Yeah.
Okay. It's all right.
We also have it in Spanish. If you know somebody you want to, it's called fiestamedicare.com. Well, Darren,
Thank you everybody for listening to our podcast. Gregory, he's a great guy, good wealth of information. And, I always tell everybody I'm here to help. So there you go.
That's it. How can they find you?
Oh, they can go to my website. It's my last name, Wittick, Wittick, MedicareHelp.com. No spaces, no dots or anything, all lowercase. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you. And until the next time, stay safe. Have a good day.